Plaintiff Carol Engstrom is suing her ex-boyfriend, Tom Berner, for repossession costs and lost wages. Carol says Tom was so suspicious she was cheating that he checked her boots and tire tracks and ultimately became violent. Tom admits to suspecting Carol of cheating, so much so that he hid in the garage to catch her in the act.
Carol Engstrom is suing her ex-boyfriend for repossession costs and lost wages. Thomas Berner is the defendant. Carol, can you tell me how it is that you ended up suing your ex-boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor, this is how it happened. I got to know Tom in the fall of 2006. He was an interesting person. We began dating and started a relationship at that time. By the end of the year, he ended up moving in with me. We had a verbal agreement that he would help out with rent and help out with food and bills.
Your Honor, that's not true.
What, that you didn't want to pay for rent and food and bills?
No, that Carol we had no verbal agreement whatsoever. Carol knew my situation living at my family's house at the time.
What was that situation, sir?
Well, that I didn't have much money. I did have a job, which I was laid off because of seasonal work.
You mean to tell me there's no agreement as to whether or not you're going to help her pay bills?
I can't say.
Okay.
Very early on in the relationship, he started becoming abusive. He thought that I was cheating on him, which of course I wasn't. He thought I was sneaking out at night. He was like Mr. CSI. He was checking my boots to see if they had dirt on them. He was checking tire tracks.
What do you mean checking your boots?
He wanted to see if there was dirt on them because he thought I was sneaking out in the middle of the night having sex out in the woods. I own 10 acres of property.
Your Honor, that is true. There were sounds around the house. There was knocking on the house. There was cigarette butts that were not mine, boots and footprints outside, along with hers. Me waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning constantly, and I'm getting suspicious that something's going on.
So you hear these noises.
Yes, ma'am.
You see the cigarette butts in the morning.
Yes.
So you check her boots?
There were some suspicious things going on. Blankets showing up at different times, different places. I mean, it was happening between 12 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Something was going on. And we would go to a movie, we would go out to dinner, and the boots that she was wearing the night before were totally muddy the next morning. Her coat would be misplaced from one place to another.
You sneaking out at night?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
All right, so let me ask you this. So if you check out the boots and you check the cigarette butts, I mean, do you submit it for DNA? Or, I mean, well, how far are we going here?
Well, I'd gone so far as to start hiding in the garage.
Because you're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, there were things being thrown at
me. What happened?
What happened was when I went outside, there was somebody in the woods shaking a tree. And when I went...
So who do you see shaking the tree that night?
Basically, it had to be somebody in camouflage. It had to be. I know it sounds strange.
Oh, no, it doesn't sound strange. This is normal stuff. Why didn't you just move out?
Carol didn't want me to go.
All right, Carol, hit me.
It would have been nice if he moved out at that point.
Did you ask him to move out?
Not at that point,
He's checking your boots? Okay.
No,
what
I
else
did not
is he
ask him to
doing?
move out. What else did he do? Well, one of the things that he thought he was trying to catch me doing things.
Obviously.
So I was out in the garage one day and there was oil on the generator and I asked Tom, I said, what? I thought maybe something was leaking and there was oil on the generator. And Tom said, I put that there. And I was like, why? And he was trying to, then he was going to check my jeans to see if I was having sex on the generator and if there was going to be oil on the generator on my jeans. Or he was going to find out who was having sex on the generator.
Okay. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's get to the lawsuit. I've heard enough.
Okay. I thought things would get better between us. I thought that he would learn to trust me. He was working a part-time...
You think he run out of gas or oil or something?
Okay. He was working a seasonal job in the summer, and he was driving a van that his stepfather had given him, and the van died, and he needed another vehicle. Tom had asked me if I would help him secure another vehicle. He did acquire a lien, and I co-signed as the agreement.
Okay, so is the vehicle in his name?
No, the title, registration, insurance is in my name. So he got the truck, and
Do you drive the vehicle at all?
No.
You asked for her to co-sign?
That is correct.
Okay.
So he had sole custody of the vehicle. I never drove it. I have my own vehicle. My daughter has her own vehicle. I never use it. I didn't even have a key for the truck.
Okay, so when you agree to co-sign, I mean, are things better, at least?
I thought they would be better. Unfortunately, they did not get better. They got worse.
How did they get worse?
There was more verbal abuse. It escalated. He punched a hole in my door. He punched a hole in my wall.
He punched a hole in the door?
Yes.
Your Honor, that's not true.
Yes, it is. I have a daughter here that can verify
Step
that.
up.
With all of the accusations that were going on, I was confrontational. She calls it abuse. I was confrontational.
You can call it whatever you want. I call it abuse. Go ahead. How old are you?
I'm 18.
What's your name?
Alina?
Did you witness any of the stuff that your mom has just told me in terms
Yes.
of...
And I've seen the holes in the walls. Like I wasn't there when the holes were made.
Okay.
But knowing how he would get.
Don't give me a supposition.
Sorry.
When he would yell at your mom, what would he say?
He would be vulgar. He'd accuse her of cheating on him. And
Did you ever see him
loud.
put his hands on her?
No.
Okay, thank you. Sit down. All right, so now we have this truck. What happens?
Well, I'd like to finish up. He did threaten me with his fist.
Why didn't you ever call the cops on him? The guy puts a hole in your door. He puts a hole in the wall. He curses you out. He's verbally abusive. He's psycho about people outside at night. Why aren't you calling the cops?
I can handle verbal abuse. I would have called the cops had he tried to lay a hand on me, if he would actually physically tried. He never actually did that.
Okay, all right. Tell me about the truck.
In April, I started receiving calls from the finance company that Tom had not made a payment since January. So I kept in communication with the finance company. He refused to return calls to the finance company. And so I started calling him, and he would not return calls from me. I found out from a friend that he had taken the truck and gone to Arizona.
Did you go to Arizona?
Yes, I did.
I sent him a series of emails. I said, Tom, please do the right thing. Bring the truck back.
Do you have those emails?
Yes, I
Let me
do.
see them. All right. So the last payment you made was in
The last payment I made was in January.
I'm sorry you won't take responsibility for what you've done and are not sorry for your actions. Your reputation is on the line. You did the first step and the 12th without doing the rest of the work. You can justify. Good luck in your search. You should do the right thing and step up. Whoa, this is from you to Carol.
Carol should have
What
done
is
the right
she
thing.
not taking responsibility for?
She's not taking responsibility for helping me with the vehicle and trying to sell it in the first place.
Okay, but is it her obligation to sell the truck?
It was
You're in
our
the truck.
obligation to take care of the truck.
Well,
it was
what's
my
this hour? We're not even in a relationship at this point.
Your Honor, this is one email that I sent Tom saying that all he needed to do was bring the truck back, leave it in the driveway, leave the keys in it, and I would take
All
care
right,
of it.
this email is to you on April 10th. I know that you are tired of losing things, but you have to do the next right thing. You need to bring the truck back and we can sell it. Please do the right thing. You cannot run and hide from this. This is a car loan. Leave it in my driveway, leave the keys in it, bring it back. I'll take care of it. Why should she pay for insurance and the truck payments? You're in another state. You left Michigan. You're not sending her a dime and she's paying for the truck.
There's no way I could send her a dime. I wasn't making but $162 a week.
What happens with the truck? Do you get the truck back? What do you do?
It's unknown to me again. He came back at the very end of April, and the finance company was evidently watching his sister's home where he went back to, and the day after he got back, they repossessed the vehicle.
At his sister's house.
The finance company is spying on me?
You're the master spy. What are you talking about?
She said she was spying on me all the time. Excuse me, Your Honor. She told me she had sold the truck, that she got the truck out of repossession.
Yeah, but what's that to you? You still owe her the money. Why
I don't see why,
because
because
the bad guy. What difference does it
she
make?
never gave me a chance to really get a job and pay her back, or even work
now
this
you're gonna
out
have
with
your
me.
chance. Today's
Yes,
your
ma'am.
day.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. What we have here is a classic situation where the plaintiff co-signs a loan for the defendant's truck based upon an agreement to pay the truck note. The defendant failed to pay as agreed. It was your truck. You were using it. She tried to mitigate the damages. But at the same time, at the end of the day, these are obligations for which you're responsible. The truck is repossessed. She shouldn't have to pay for that amount on the repossession. Next time, be smarter than to loan money to someone who's not working, who you're having a bad relationship with, and get out of it sooner than you got out of it. And as for you, Mr. Berner, there are a lot of ghosts out there, but you're not going to find any of them.
You're right.
Verdict for the plaintiff.